What happens when fragile friendships and fragile egos collide with utterly baffling, gross, and side-splitting challenges? Find out as we break down Taskmaster Season 20, Episode 5, a wild ride full of jelly beans, emotional breakdowns, questionable desserts, and just enough betrayal to keep you hooked to the end. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss the twists and the chaos that unfolded this week. Let's kick things off with an opening as weird as anything Taskmaster's ever put out. Greg Davies, our manic overlord, sets the stage with vibes somewhere between a family game night and a fever dream. The banner with Alex Horne is delightfully off kilter, as Alex parades around with his bucket hat covered in their faces and a literal bucket list inside. Horne announces his last 3 life goals: find an emerald, sell it on the black market, and buy a speedboat. You better believe they immediately find an emerald. Classic Taskmaster shenanigans, setting the comedy tone that ripples through the entire episode. Then, it's time for the prize task, a signature segment where contestants must bring in a possession so bizarre it would boggle future archaeologists if they found it in a burial. Here's where the personalities start colliding. Maisie Adam brings her wild card, E.C. Amanda Holden's autobiography, translated into Egyptian hieroglyphs. Imagine an archaeologist finding that. She's instantly crowned Queen of Confusion, scoring the top 5 points. Phil Ellis offers an uncomfortably hilarious childhood photo of himself with a random dog at a birthday celebration. His family didn't have a dog. No one knows who the dog is. The suggestion it might be of couple makes Greg snort, but he doesn't buy the archaeological confusion. Reese Shearsmith goes for psychological warfare with a mirror that says, "Is this you?" Freaky, mysterious, and oddly philosophical. The Taskmaster notes that mirrors have, in fact, stumped real archaeologists before. Anya Magliano attempts to melt brains with dual-flavored jelly beans cobbled together, using her teeth and a lot of tongue action. It's so ridiculous that Greg jokes about giving her 1 point before even seeing the rest. It's weird, yes, but not confusing enough to beat Amanda Holden's autobiography. Sanjeev Bhaskar swings Big T. He combines a sample of his own urine and a pet treat gun, an utterly bonkers offering whose logic is as convoluted as the objects themselves. Ultimately, Maisie gets top points, followed by Sanjeev, Reese, Phil, and Anya at the bottom. Her creative candy making, it turns out, couldn't quite topple Egyptian Amanda Holden. Moving on. The first big task unites physical comedy and rule-bending agony. The contestants must pull the biggest object across a tricky obstacle course using only a string, all while remaining on a colored mat. Obstacles range from a rhino machine firing tennis balls, no explanation as to why, to saloon-style doors, scarecrows, and a pool. This segment is where the episode's emotional pulse really picks up, with arguments, teamwork, and meltdowns galore. Anya makes a brave, strange choice. She tries to drag a toy pig over the course in a cheerful metaphor for childbirth. Wheels, ropes, and a ton of failed engineering later, Alex Horne becomes a midwife, helping her get through a tough spot. This triggers outrage from Maisie, who insists Anya got unfair help. But as Greg points out, the rules never forbade outside assistance. The spat grows heated, with hilarious speculation about calling in friends like Katie Price for backup. Lines are drawn, tempers flare. Taskmaster is as much about outwitting each other as outwitting the game. Maisie, meanwhile, tries to tough it out, but her rope snaps, Reese fails to complete the task within the rules. Enter Phil Ellis and Sanjeev, the muscle men. Phil develops an emotional connection with his chosen object, a horse, comparing the journey to dragging a new friend through adversity. These scenes hesitantly balance physical comedy and a surprising dash of poignancy. Phil's sentimental tug wins him top marks for size and style, while Sanjeev, who drags Alex Horn across the course, nearly clinches it but falls just short. Scores are tallied. Phil gets his first ever task win, Sanjeev close behind, with Anya salvaging 3 points thanks to her midwife moment. Maisie and Reese get nothing, sparking more banter and wounded pride. Next comes the awkwardness challenge, a masterclass in cringe and improv. Anya and Sanjeev go first, trying to create genuine awkwardness. Strategies include asinine questions, unsettling baby washing, don't ask, and references to bumholes and French-sounding nicknames. Tension gets so thick you could slice it, and their approach is both weird and effective. Maisie and Reese, as a team of two, opt for bad improv at a fake memorial service. Their attempt is so painful and tense that it becomes funny in a whole new way. Inappropriate remarks, confused roles, and subtle hints at scandal make for prime awkwardness. The Taskmaster decides both teams did an outstanding job at horror-inducing unease, but gives the trio's effort bonus points for sheer intensity. Awkwardness at its finest. The chaos continues with finger painting, another classic Taskmaster moment. Using only 4-letter words and alternating truth and lies, the contestants must paint the person on the other end of a phone line. Sounds simple. Not in Taskmaster land. The restrictions pull their brains in every direction, and they all mess up the truth-lie sequence. The resulting paintings range from charmingly childish to outright bizarre. Anya, despite thinking she bombed it, wins the most accurate painting. Maisie, who's insistent her result is a work of genius, is awarded last place, leading to some more fiery exchanges. By this point, the tension and gags have ramped up enough that everyone's primed for a twist, and episode 5 delivers in the final task. It's the Eat the Lame Duck challenge, a psychological minefield involving vegan chocolate ducks and trust games with real points and money at stake. If just one person eats the duck, that person gets 5 points and others lose points. But if several eat, all lose points, except those who abstain, who gain. If no one eats, everyone pays. Greg 25. If all eat, Alex pays them. A group decision seems to be forming. Everyone eats, everyone's happy, right? Until the last seconds, when some crack and some hold back. The big reveal. Reese Shearsmith, in a moment of sheer treachery, does not eat his duck, secretly engineering a glorious betrayal. Phil also cheats the system, licking his gold off but not eating. 2 refusers means the others lose points and they gain. It's a Taskmaster moment of legend. Deception, tension, and snorts of disbelief as Reese coolly admits, I didn't understand the rules, which absolutely nobody believes. After the dust settles and points are counted, Phil Ellis, a perennial underdog, has taken this episode by storm, not only winning his first challenge, but clinching the entire episode thanks to teamwork, tenderness toward inanimate objects, and bold questionable choices. So that's your rundown. Awkward banter, out of control creative prizes, arguments and alliances, finger painting mayhem, and a final test of trust and treachery. Season 20 Episode 5 may have been the most unpredictable, emotionally raw, and full throttle yet. It's the kind of Taskmaster episode that takes you on a comedic roller coaster and leaves you wanting more, whether for the next hilarious twist or just to see the contestants bicker about the rules. Now, I want to hear from you. Who deserved to win the Eat the Lame Duck challenge? Which prize offering would have bamboozled ancient archaeologists the most? Let me know your favorite moment in the comments below. Hit that like button if you laughed as hard as I did. Share this recap with your fellow Taskmaster fans. And don't forget to subscribe for more outrageous breakdowns and endings explained